Hello friends, Coach Chris here. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for stopping by the channel. So, I'm trying a different distance from the camera this time because I've noticed in several of my other ones, it's kind of hard on an iPhone to tell where a video, the space is that you're actually being recorded, and my head gets cut off in a lot of them. So, I hope this is a better distance. I have beside me a pile of coats that I wanted to go over and review just the general categories of coats. I mean, it's going to be the final step in our winter clothing cold weather system to help keep us warm so that we can enjoy the outdoors even in the fall and winter months. And then we'll put it all together in a final video of just seeing how all those layers fit together. But coats I've put into 4 different categories. And we'll take a look at an example of each of those categories, but they're really supposed to be a part of the team of your other layers. You don't want to have just go out in your base layer and then throw on a huge parka. It's not going to be as effective as if you have several different layers on, say 4 or 5 different layers, and then a thinner coat rather than one layer and a thick coat. So I know this is probably common sense to most of you, but it's important just to review these and say, oh, okay, yeah, now when I'm shopping for a new coat, I have in the back of my mind, all right, here's what I already have, and here's, do a sort of a little gap analysis on your wardrobe for the winter so that you can enjoy the outdoors. So the first category of our 4 is what I call the working coat. So here I have a very thin working coat. I actually hunt in this coat. Pheasant season is one of my favorite seasons up here in Wisconsin. And so this is just a nice khaki kind of tan working coat. Carhartt is probably the most recognizable brand of working coat that you have out there. And this happens to be a Cherokee brand. Very nice, very comfortable. I've had it for years. It's starting to get frayed at the edges here, but it's functional. And what's important about a working coat is that it's the right thickness. Because I'm going to be hunting, I'm going to be walking and hiking and burning a lot of calories, I don't want this to be that thick. I want it to be a nice protective outer layer that helps stop the wind and snow and things like that that are common in this season, but I don't want it to be very thick. So it's a perfect thickness for working in. What you want to prevent with your coat is sweating. Coats have been around as long as humans have been clothing themselves, and so they come in all shapes and sizes. But if you sweat and that sweat gets cold and is exposed to the cold air, you're going to be really uncomfortable and therefore not enjoy the outdoors, and maybe even not go into the outdoors in the winter months because you've had such a bad experience. So that's what we want to prevent, and it might seem counterintuitive to have a thin coat in the cold season, but it's important to have a thin coat. So here's a thin working coat that I would then pair with several layers. I especially like wearing my vest underneath this, and then I'm good to go. This is a thin working coat. The second category of coat that I have here is a nice thin coat. So this is really my everyday coat in the winter. It's a Michael Kors, and it was a gift from my girlfriend the first Christmas we were dating. We got each other coats because it was a practical gift, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it actually, and it's because I didn't pick it up. I didn't pick this out. It's much too classy of a taste for me to have picked it out. But it's really nice. What I like about this is it's comfortable, so therefore I'm going to use it, and that's again the most important thing to consider in our equipment is equipment that we're actually going to use. So I wear this almost every day. I love that it has it looks good, but for me what I love about it is the pockets. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets. 7, 8. It has pockets in there. It has I think one pocket in here. So it has 9 pockets on it, and I try to utilize all of them in different ways. So I love that, but it's thin. So what's great is I can have a lot of comfortable layers on underneath this. Throw this on with a scarf, because while it does go all the way up, it zips all the way up, which I like about that too. It's not as comfortable as a scarf would be. So I pair this with a scarf and I'm good to go. So those are the first 2 categories are thin coats, a thin working coat, and then a thin, nice coat. I take this out on dates, I wear it to work. It's just, it looks good, and I feel good in it. So therefore I use it. It's probably the coat I wear the most. A feature other than all the aesthetics and the functionality of the pockets, which are nice deep pockets that can fit my gloves, is that it does have a protected zipper. Now zippers are, they're a weak point on anything, and so whether that's your life jacket or your purse, anything, or your anything, they're a weak point, and they do let some air in, and it's a feature that you want to find with anything that is going to have a zipper exposed to the outdoors is to have a covering on it. So that's one thing I like about this, is that the zipper is actually has 2 layers of covering, 1, 2, and then my zipper is protected, and you're good to go. So the next category of coat going through here is the ski jacket. Now, just check how much time. Oh, I got plenty of time. So the ski jacket here, I've had this forever. This is actually, it's a brand I don't know if people would recognize anymore. It's a Ripzone. Now, this was my brother's old ski jacket, and I love it because as a younger brother, everything that my brother did, listened to, or had was cool, because he was my older brother, and therefore everything he did was cool. I listened to like Blink-182 and Bare Naked Ladies because he did, and therefore it was cool, and I wanted to listen to it. So I've had this forever, and since he grew out of it and got something else, I've had it, geez, probably 15, almost 20 years now, and it still works. It's great. And what you're looking for in a ski jacket is something that is slick, because that's going to help the wind. You're going to be skiing, you're going to be snowboarding, so you're going to be creating your own wind, essentially, going 20 miles an hour down the ski hill. So you want something that's of a slick material that will help just have all the wind slide right off you. You don't want something textured like my last coat, which was this sort of worsted wool it has grooves and ridges, and it's gonna catch the wind and hold it and cool you down more in a windy situation than this will, which just, it's nice and slick. So that's the first thing you want to see. Again, this has a protected zipper, because I don't want that wind getting through my zipper and having that weak point in my coat exposed. You want everything to be zipped on a ski jacket or snowboard jacket. And so here you can see the pockets zip up and down, because you're potentially gonna be in like a tumble situation, like in your dryer. You could hit a snag and your skis fall off and you're tumbling. You don't want your ski pass, your wallet, your phone, your keys flying out all over the place. And so you want to just have that peace of mind knowing that everything is zipped up and secure. So that's another feature you want to look for. And a feature that you want to look for, which I love on this, that Ripzone really did well, is that this has a liner. It has a removable liner. And then that gives you, sorry about that, somebody else called and I'm using my phone, so it stopped the video. So one of the things, again, I was saying that I really like about this is the liner. And it basically gives you 2-in-1. You have a sweater, or your liner that you can wear separately, and then you have a coat. That just gives you more options. Now you have, again, a thin coat, just like we saw earlier. And so if you don't want this liner to be one of your layers, you can take it out, have different layers on underneath. Maybe you don't want a full sweater, but you want a vest. You're also burning calories when you're skiing, so being able to remove this liner which is rather heavy, and just had that nice outer shell sort of wind protective layer, is a great option so that you don't start sweating and therefore get cold because your sweat will freeze. So that's the third category, is this sort of functional winter ski jacket. I also really like how you can tighten this at the bottom here with these straps so that you have a nice protective layer and shell. Again, Ripzone, I don't even know if they're still in business anymore, but really love this jacket. And it was, before my Michael Kors, it was my only jacket capable of keeping me warm in the winters up here in Wisconsin. So great category, love it, can't wait to go skiing, just need some snowfall. Now, the fourth category that we have here is what I call just functional coats. And this is like, 10 pounds? Maybe not that much. But it's a really heavy coat, and this is a Navy pea coat. I actually got it at a Navy Exchange when I was on base one time, and I was freezing because I only brought like a lighter jacket. So this is fantastic. I love this coat. I like the look of the pea coat. I think it's classy. It's classic. Yeah, it goes well with business attire. If I'm at a customer site for my civilian work, I'll wear this, and it gets noticed. It gets compliments, and just people like it. It's just classic. But this category isn't just pea coats. This is any sort of nice functional coat. We already had nice thin coats, but there are nice functional heavy coats. And there are heavy coats that don't look as nice as a pea coat, or say the Michael Kors. That would also fall into this category of just heavy coat. Parkas and any sort of heavy coat would fall into this category. And they're great. I have a nice coat with the Michael Kors, so I really wouldn't wear a heavy coat unless it was nice. I got sort of spoiled because I liked putting on a coat and feeling good about it because it was classy. So that's why I got the pea coat, because it looks good. I do have a Coast Guard blue version that I wear with my uniform, but this just black navy pea coat goes with so many different outfits, and so that's what I like about this one, rather than the Coast Guard version, which is Coast Guard blue, which doesn't go with as many outfits. But so those are the four categories. You have two thin coats, you have nice thin coats, you have working thin coats, then you have different sort of dynamic composite coats. Those can include parkas as well that have a parka liner, ski coats, snowboard coats, and then you have heavy coats that are really just functional. They don't have to, look functional and just, be blah. They can look nice, like a navy pea coat, which is just heavy wool. And if it's something you're going to use, then go ahead and get that coat. And it's important to realize do a gap analysis on yourself, on your wardrobe, and see, all right, do I have a coat that is gonna keep me warm but not too warm in the winter? If I'm gonna be doing hunting or hiking or biking, do I have that? And if not, it's totally fine to go ahead and procure that, or get a coat that you can insert a liner with, and there you go. You're good to go for the ski hill. Anyway, I hope you found this informative. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for stopping by the channel again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope you all stay classy, stay warm, stay healthy, and I wish the best for you and your family. Coastal Chris out.